A violent incident at an East Texas bar ends with 2 people hurt and 2 others arrested. Details on what we know so far. And Israel says its ceasefire with Hamas is still on after a serious test. How violence erupted again and what President Trump is saying about it.
We got a hot and breezy day ahead of us on this Monday. I'll show you just what to expect in your forecast coming up. So stay right there because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
It's 7:03 right now, preparing to make your voice heard. Early voting begins today in Texas. From local races to statewide measures, some big decisions are on the ballot this November in East Texas. What you need to know before the polls open for early voting. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez has the morning off. Thank you so much for joining us here on CBS 19 Plus. Still feeling nice as you get ready to head out the door this morning. I didn't have like a little sweater this morning when I got out of the car to walk into the station. I mean, it was chilly.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're definitely going to need that sweater. You're definitely going to need maybe even a heavier jacket in some parts of the area. We were in the 40s this morning. I think most of everybody else is in the 50s at this point, and we'll watch as those temperatures start to increase into the upper 80s, believe it or not, into this afternoon. Clear skies overhead on our CBS 19 studio cam. 56 is the temperature right now in Tyler. 46 degrees is that dew point. That means we are very, very dry, so it'll feel a little bit more comfortable outside. Only thing that you'll have to kind of keep in mind, though, is that south breeze likely getting up to 20 to 30 miles per hour today. Here's a wider view of temperatures. 49 degrees in Mount Pleasant. We also have 49 degrees in Athens, 56 right now in Tyler, as we just saw, 48 in Carthage, and 47 in Center. So if you want to take a morning run or maybe even into this afternoon, not looking too bad as far as temperatures go. But again, the only thing you're going to have to kind of keep in mind, especially as we head into this afternoon, are those gusty winds up to potentially 30 miles per hour in some parts of the area. Sunshine holding on for today. A round of showers possible into tomorrow as a cold front moves in closer. I'll show you the details on that in your complete forecast coming up later.
All right, thank you, Joel. A new beginning this morning in Uvalde, 3 years after a deadly school shooting killed 19 students and 2 teachers. 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders will walk into the new Legacy Elementary School. It's the school built to replace Robb Elementary, which has been closed since the May 2022 shooting. The community gathered yesterday to bless the halls before the school bell officially rings this morning, praying for a fresh start for the students, school, staff, as well as the town.
We've gone through some difficult days, I mean, as everyone knows, and we're praying that as a new school opens, that it'll bring a new heart and a new beginning.
The $60 million campus was built with a focus on honoring the teachers and students who lost their lives at Robb Elementary. The building doesn't mention the victims by name, but there are tributes on the campus, including a steel 2-story tree with 2 big branches and 19 smaller branches representing those lives lost. President Donald Trump says the Gaza ceasefire is holding despite dozens of fatalities during fighting yesterday. Analysts say that violence shows that the truce between Israel and Hamas is very fragile. They say getting to phase 2 of Trump's Gaza plan won't be possible if the ceasefire in phase 1 doesn't hold. Amy Kiley reports on how the U.S. is responding to the tenuous situation.
To go and check on how things are going.
Vice President J.D. Vance says an administration official likely will head to Israel soon. That's after violence between Hamas and Israel in Gaza yesterday.
This ceasefire is basically a bit tenuous.
2 Israeli soldiers are among the dead. Gaza hospitals say more than 40 people died in subsequent airstrikes.
There are going to be fits and starts. Hamas is going to fire on Israel. Israel's going to have to respond.
Vance says the region needs peacekeepers, and several nations are willing to help.
The only problem is those countries don't want to go in when the Israelis are still fighting in the area.
Sources familiar with the plans for a U.S. delegation say 2 officials who helped broker the ceasefire deal might be involved. Their special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, and Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
Hamas right now is doing exactly what you would expect a terrorist organization to do, which is to try to reconstitute and take back their positions. The success or failure of this will be if Israel and this international mechanism is able to create a viable alternative.
A senior Israeli official says Gaza humanitarian aid shipments are continuing today after a pause yesterday.
If Israel doesn't want to continue to punish the actual Palestinian civilians that they say are being, held hostage by Hamas too, then you would not really make aid as a weapon.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Over the weekend, the Defense Department confirmed another deadly strike on an alleged drug vessel in international waters. The Trump administration says the strikes have killed more than 30 people so far, ratcheting up tensions between the U.S. and multiple South American countries, including Colombia. Meanwhile, a federal probe is underway over a platform built in a tree near the airport that President Trump frequently uses in Florida. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn has more.
The FBI is leading an investigation into what they call a suspicious old tree stand near West Palm Beach Airport, where President Trump flies in and out of whenever he travels to his Mar-a-Lago home. The Secret Service says it spotted the stand while preparing for the president's arrival over the weekend. The Trump administration released footage of its 7th known strike on an alleged drug trafficking boat in the Caribbean Sea last week. It comes as Colombian President Gustavo Petro has accused the U.S. of committing murder, claiming that a September strike killed fishermen. President Trump hit back, calling Petro an illegal drug dealer, while threatening to pull aid and slap Colombia with tariffs.
They are a drug manufacturing machine, Colombia, and we're not going to be part of it. So we're going to drop all money that we're giving to them.
Members of Congress have criticized the strikes.
I do worry about the legal authorities, or lack thereof.
All of these people have been blown up without us knowing their name, without any evidence of a crime.
Meanwhile, as pressure builds to end the Russia-Ukraine war, President Trump Sunday repeated his plea that both sides cease fighting and claim victory.
They should stop right now at the battle lines, go home, stop killing people, and be done.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed skepticism that Russian leader Vladimir Putin is serious about peace negotiations.
This war is not about the land and not about territories for him. It's about our sovereignty.
President Trump is preparing for another summit with Putin soon in Budapest. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
And today, the federal government shutdown stretches into day 20. A source familiar tells CBS News that Senate Republicans have been invited to the White House for lunch on Tuesday. Senate GOP members are considering votes this week on bills that would allow certain federal employees, like active duty military, to be paid as the stalemate stretches on. 10 minutes after 7, time for your morning headlines. Police say 3 people were hurt after a shooting Sunday morning on the Oklahoma State University campus in Stillwater. All 3 people were taken to nearby hospitals for treatment. Investigators believe it happened near a campus dorm, and at least one of the victims is an OSU student. It was homecoming weekend with many alumni and family in town. So far, no suspects have been identified, but police say there is no ongoing threat to public safety. A manhunt is underway for the thieves responsible for stealing priceless jewels from the Louvre Museum in Paris. The thieves were described as very experienced and reportedly smashed display cases in order to steal a number of items in the morning hours before fleeing the scene on Yamaha scooters. 2 pieces of jewelry were apparently dropped or abandoned as the burglars fled the scene, including the crown of Empress Eugenie, which was found near the museum. And tension is boiling between the U.S. and Colombia this morning. President Trump took to Truth Social yesterday, calling the president of Colombia an illegal drug leader and pledged to end U.S. aid to Colombia, writing Gustavo Petro encourages the massive production of drugs in big and small fields all over Colombia. Earlier in the day, Petro criticized Trump for recent U.S. strikes on alleged drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean, including a Colombian vessel. On Friday, the president and his administration have repeatedly defended at least 7 strikes on boats in the Caribbean in recent weeks, which include strikes on Venezuelan vessels. And the Department of Agriculture says more than 90,000 pounds of MCI's foods prepackaged frozen breakfast burritos have been recalled because they contain eggs that are possibly tainted with listeria. A post by the department says that some of the products may have been shipped to schools as part of the National School Lunch and Breakfast Program. The FDA says no illnesses have been reported so far, but institutions have been advised not to serve the wraps and to throw them away. Well, this year's Jamboree in Gilmer drew a big crowd. The festival is all about, the corn dogs, funnel cakes, and those amusement rides. But there's something else that plays a pivotal role in making the Jamboree what it is. CBS19's Will Riddell has more on the instrument that helped start it all.
When you think of the East Texas Jamboree, you probably think of the food and the Ferris wheel and, of course, yams. But how about the fiddle? Charlie Walker is the director of the Gilmer Jamboree Fiddle Contest, a position he's held for 30 years.
This fiddle contest and how they played the street dance and everything on these old brick roads right here that were built back then is what made the Jamboree start going.
Now, the Jamboree is in its 88th year, and that small string instrument is still one of the stars of the show. Fiddle players in this year's contest range from children to this guy, John Blevins. He's 87 years old.
When you're young, you can play sports, and that's good. But you get 30 and 40, your knees give out. And with music, you could play till you die. I mean, it's something that you can do all your life.
Blevins has been playing the fiddle longer than Jude Stewart has been alive, but like Blevins, the instrument is in her blood.
My grandfather plays, his grandfather played guitar, and we come from the pioneers here. The Stewart family pioneered out here, so we come from a good long line of fiddle players.
And it's players like Jude and her siblings that are carrying on the contest's legacy, ensuring the fiddle will always be a part of the East Texas Jamboree.
Me and my friends and my brother and their friends, we're all keeping it alive.
You're never too old to do this. You're never too young to start. Get out there, pick up something, and start playing. Figure out what you like the sound of, and get after it. I mean, send it.
Reporting from Gilmer and the East Texas Jamboree.
Yeah.
I'm Will Riddell.
They sounded good. Well, before the rain moved in Saturday afternoon, the Rose Parade rolled through as part of the 92nd Annual Rose Festival. And the event attracted thousands and featured music, dancing, and an appearance by the Rose Queen, the Rose Festival Court, and of course, there were plenty of roses on hand. Well, despite their intimidating name, killer whales are making waves with their recent acts of kindness. A new study explores how orcas are forming unique human connections. Gwen Baumgartner reports from Edmonds, Washington.
From beneath the shimmering surface, the ocean's apex predator.
There's no real cost for them to come in and check us out. And so they don't hesitate to if they want to.
Researcher Jared Towers recently led a study exploring a series of polite yet puzzling interactions, orcas attempting to share their food with humans. Here you can see one attempt to offer its meal, the orca then taking it back when left untouched.
There are some cases where the killer whales have been very insistent. And after dropping the item in front of people, if people didn't respond, they would pick it up again and offer it to them again.
Just another example of whales keeping people on their toes. Tower says examples of this, orcas attacking boats, are them being curious and playful.
They're fun to watch, they look really cool, and they're just really fascinating animals.
Bart Rulon has been photographing and studying orcas for decades. He believes the more we know about killer whales, the more we can do to protect them.
I think they're probably similarly curious to us as we are to them.
Researchers agree, concluding that offering prey could be an orca's way to learn about, manipulate, or develop relationships with us.
I think because killer whales are very aware and conscious of what's going on in their environment, and I think they have a desire to understand it.
Continuing to share food with those who share their waters. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Edmonds, Washington.
Well, it's still rare to see an orca offer food to humans. They often share within their pods. Just like us, they bring food to social gatherings. Oh, speaking of food, from sizzling bacon to fluffy pancakes, scrambled eggs, or maybe just a hot cup of coffee. When it comes to breakfast, everyone has a favorite way to start the day. And now we want to know, what is your favorite breakfast food?
Oh, we were just talking about chicken and waffles earlier.
Yeah.
I do love chicken and waffles. I just like waffles in general. Waffles are really great.
Is that your favorite breakfast food?
I
though?
think so. I think so, absolutely.
For me, I posted on, mine is bacon for sure.
Yeah.
But I like it with a side of syrup.
Oh, absolutely.
I could use some bacon
sausage.
right now. I'm not usually hungry for breakfast, but this morning, for some reason, I'm starving, and the coffee is not doing it for me.
It's not
So I'm
not
gonna have
enough,
to find something for breakfast. Here's what people are saying that they like. Vicky says she loves avocado toast. I like that too.
My fiance loves that.
Does she? Yeah. I like that. And then Donnie's going pancakes and bacon. Debbie says eggs, bacon, cheese, croissant.
Ooh, wow. All right.
And then Sissy's going bacon and homemade biscuits and gravy. I'm the one Texan who does not like biscuits and gravy. Do you like biscuits and gravy?
I do.
So that's an up north kind of thing too.
It sometimes can be, yeah.
It sometimes can be.
Sometimes can be, but honestly, you know, being in Oklahoma at OU for a few years, I had the opportunity to have some more, and it was really good.
Yeah, I like biscuits with like maybe some jelly, but I'm not a gravy person, so that's probably where that comes from.
Gotcha. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have my biscuits plain. That's for sure. It has to have something on it.
Something on
You know,
it.
at least something.
Well, today you're going to need a hot cup of coffee as you head out the door this morning because it feels a little chilly out there. Or if you like hot tea, whatever it is.
Yeah, might maybe something warm as you head out the door this morning. And as for traffic, well, we're looking pretty good so far this morning. We got 2 hours over to Dallas on I-20 and an hour and 30 minutes to Shreveport. So pretty quiet as far as I-20 goes. And as far as US 69, we're also very quiet. We got 2.5 hours up to Denison and an hour and 30 minutes down to Lufkin. So we're looking pretty good in that regard. 55 minutes is the commute now from Jacksonville to Nacogdoches. We're still at a 40-minute commute. Tyler to Longview, Tyler to Palestine up to 55 minutes, and Tyler to Athens is a 45-minute commute at this point. CBS19 live radar is pretty clear. Starting to pick up maybe some ground clutter here on our CBS19 live radar, but above that, we're nice and clear. We got high pressure overhead. We got beautiful skies this morning and into this afternoon. We should expect the same thing. Visibility is nice and clear as well. 10 miles of visibility all across East Texas. So continue to expect a very beautiful morning commute. Giving you green all the way through 9 o'clock this morning. Temperatures on the cool side in the 50s and some areas in the 40s, and then upper 80s for this afternoon. Going to be a toasty one as we head out the door.
7:19 now. Up next in sports, how the Dallas Cowboys bounced back in a big way. And we've got highlights from their dominating win over the Commanders. Plus, Thanksgiving travel crushed records last year, and 2025 could be even bigger. Why airlines say demand is soaring and how much more you'll pay to get there. Coming up.
It's time for CBS 19 Sports.
Hello and welcome to Sports. I'm Jimmy Searfoss. We're glad you're with us because the NFC East had some wild games last night for all parties involved. So let's check out two of the teams at once right off the bat here. The Cowboys facing off against Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, but it was Javonte Williams making that first move in the all-whites. He's getting the first score of the day right here for the Cowboys in Dallas. Shortly after, Commanders get right back to it. Daniels finds his man Zach Ertz for the 5-yard tutty. 2-7 turns into 8-7. They actually did not get that extra point there. Prescott went to work today, though. Watch the play action. Downfield to wide receiver number 1. Welcome back, CeeDee Lamb. How about a 74-yarder to go with it? Side by side with George Pickens. Look at the 2. That's the Cowboys offense right there, baby. They were humming. Let's go to the second. Daniels getting to the team to the 1-yard line. Just says, I'm going to do it myself. He walks in there gingerly. Make it a 1-score ball game. Once again, everything seemed to be going down inside the 5 yesterday. How about Jake Ferguson getting in the mix, catches that rocket from Dak with 2 hands, put all of that mustard on that one. Dak got right back to him shortly after. Look at him finding Jake Ferguson. This is why the man gets paid the big bucks, baby. It's not because of them dance moves that he keeps putting on. Jaden Daniels left this one with a hamstring injury. In steps Marcus Mariota. In steps Deron Bland. In a minute, there it is. Look how far he ran for that. How about a pick six, 68 yards. Cowboys go up 41-15. Take this one 44-22 over the division rival. Even Jerry Jones was happy.
I feel as good about that offense as I have in a long time around here, and I say that to all our fans.
A huge win for the Cowboys over a division rival. Can't stress that enough. Hey, let's check in on the Chiefs. They hosted the Raiders yesterday, and look at Mahomes finding Rashee Rice, who's back on the field for the first time since his suspension. He got busy today for the Kansas City Chiefs, who spent all day in front of their end zone. This time pass goes to Hollywood Brown right down the middle for the 8-yard touchdown. That lead just kept on building against the Raiders. Check this out again, though. Rice had 2 touchdowns in his returning game to Kansas City. This one climbs him up 21-0, and things start getting a little out of hand. Pacheco caps it off with the handoff here. Look at the mean man get amped up. He should be. Chiefs shut out the Raiders 31-0. That's all I got for you. Morning, y'all.
All right, thank you so much. Well, we're about to step away for a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcast with a news update. We'll be right back with more right here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this news update. Early voting begins today for the November election. Texans statewide will have the opportunity to vote on 17 proposed amendments to the state constitution. Some include Proposition 3, denying bail for those charged with certain criminal felonies. Prop 4 would set aside up to $20 billion over the next 2 decades to fund water infrastructure projects. And Props 11 and 13 would both raise homestead exemptions on property taxes. And Prop 16 says non-U.S. citizens cannot vote in the state, including in local elections. For additional details on early voting locations, dates, and what's on the ballot, visit our website, CBS19.tv. Additional details have been released regarding a string of violence that left 3 dead and several others injured. Including in those details were the names of the victims. The violence started in Maybank Friday morning, where 5 people were shot. Kimberly Simpson, Connie Patrick, and Rodney Hammonds were killed. 2 other victims, Colton Reed and Henry Hopgood, were rushed to the hospital. And investigators say the suspected gunman, Christopher Kyle Reed Jr., later showed up to a Buc-ee's in Ennis and crashed the car into a building and hit a woman in the process before turning the gun on himself. Reed is in critical condition after surviving the shot. Well, 'tis the season for chills and thrills. Halloween came early to families who participated in the Trunk or Treat over at UT Tyler. It's held in conjunction this year with the East Texas Crisis Center. The school's annual Trunk or Treat provides Tyler families with an opportunity to take their children trick-or-treating in a fun, safe environment. Several UT Tyler athletic teams and student-led organizations were on hand to pass out treats and play some games. The Assistant Vice President for Student Success says that it's important that students learn the value of giving back.
It's awesome. It's one of our core pillars of our strategic plan is community engagement as well as student engagement. And so this, is an amazing way to connect our students into our community and then for our community to find out all the cool things that are happening here at UT Tyler.
The university expected thousands of people at the Trunk or Treat event. All right, it's a cooler morning out there. Let's check in with Joel.
Yes, for sure. Cooler start and a warm end to the day as we take a look at our high temperatures moving into today. Upper 80s with lots of sunshine. The only thing else that we're going to be watching for is winds gusting up to 20 to 30 miles per hour on top of the humidity. So that's not going to be very good as far as our fire danger goes. We still do have very high to have high risks for fire danger here across the area, including areas like Tyler, Canton, and Emory. We still have those burn bans that continue to be in place across much of deep East Texas and a couple of counties just north of I-20. Highly recommend that you just do not burn anything altogether, even if you are not within any of those burn bans. Again, future winds here going into this afternoon, 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts is what we're watching for. Another round of rain possible into Tuesday with a few more, especially going into this weekend.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up at our second half hour. A Texas community is mourning a beloved mail carrier killed in a crash. Police say the driver suspected of being drunk now faces serious charges. We'll have that story coming up. And a growing number of adults are choosing to start a family later in life. Coming up, we take a look at the risks and the misconceptions of a pregnancy later in life.
Dry forecast in terms of today's forecast, but we're also looking ahead into Friday into Saturday for our next storm system that could bring some gusty thunderstorms to the forecast. Have all that and more on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez has the morning off. Thank you so much for joining us on CBS 19 Plus. Well, new this morning, hundreds of online services and platforms are getting back up and running after a widespread outage early this morning. Services affected include Venmo, Snapchat, Facebook, Prime Video, and Amazon's cloud computing. Now, that's according to downdetector.com. Amazon Web Services said this morning that it had issues with its cloud service operations. It said the outage lasted about 3 hours and included entertainment and gaming websites. So you might have encountered that this morning. Well, the Texas neighborhood is continuing to honor a beloved postal worker tragically killed in a crash in Harris County. Police say a driver believed to be under the influence plowed through the back of his mail carrier. Now, many who live in the area say a 58-year-old Stephen Marks was more than just their mail carrier. He was part of their community. If he wasn't delivering mail, you could find Stephen at Bogey's Billiards.
Steve was, man, he's a great pool player, very tactical.
He was here almost 6-7 days a week.
A lot of people love playing with him because he was just really good and then always fun to play with.
The driver who is accused of hitting Stephen has been identified as Jose Romero. He's expected in court on a charge of intoxication manslaughter. Now to some health news this morning. People with advanced lung or skin cancer who got the COVID-19 vaccine live significantly longer than people who didn't. A University of Florida study found cancer patients who got the COVID vaccine within 100 days of starting immunotherapy drugs saw their survival rates nearly double. Now, it's believed the COVID mRNA vaccine may wake up the immune system against cancer as well. People who are considered skinny fat may have a bigger risk of heart disease. A McMaster University study found even some people who appear lean may have hidden fat deep in the abdomen and liver that damages arteries. This type of fat also increases the risk of diabetes and high blood pressure. The study shows that body mass index and waistline size only tell part of the story. A new approach to helping prevent peanut allergies in kids appears to be working. Children's Hospital of Philadelphia says food allergy rates among kids are declining since new guidelines went into place. The new guidelines advise parents to introduce peanuts to infants early, which is shown to lower their risk of developing peanut allergies by more than 80%. And a growing number of adults are choosing to start a family or expand it later in life. While advanced maternal age carries some added risks, experts say misconceptions can cause unneeded stress. Mandy Gaither explains.
At age 42, Melissa Holmes was set to get a hysterectomy to help with the pain of fibroids. Instead, she got the shock of her life.
About 2 weeks prior to everything being finalized through insurance and things, I found out I was pregnant.
Holmes already had a 22-year-old son from the first time she was pregnant. She wasn't planning to expand her family. And there was one more concern, her age.
When you're older and you're having a baby, you worry about, side effects. Is the baby going to be healthy? Is something going to be wrong with the baby? Or am I going to be able to survive this pregnancy?
It all depends on the health of the individual.
Holmes's OBGYN Dr. Natasha Spencer with Orlando Health says women in their 30s and 40s who don't have major underlying medical conditions and have a healthy lifestyle can have an uncomplicated pregnancy. But experts say overall, when compared to those of younger ages, women of advanced maternal age are at higher risk of complications like gestational diabetes, preeclampsia, labor problems, cesarean delivery. Older women are also at risk of delivering preterm or a child with low birth weight.
That women should, if it's definitely within their heart's desire to speak with their obstetrician gynecologist about pregnancy, despite them being older.
On December 19th, 2023, Holmes delivered a healthy baby boy.
I couldn't imagine my life without him.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
She's very troubled. She's running from this insane past.
Brandy is apologizing for a health scare that caused her to abruptly end a weekend show. The performer posted on Instagram she experienced dehydration and feelings of wanting to faint before leaving the stage in Chicago Saturday night to seek medical attention. She thanked her fans for their love, support, and prayers.
He is lost, and he is desperate.
Walton Goggins has joined the cast of the action thriller Painter, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Amber Midthunder stars as a young woman with a particular set of skills who will need those skills to rescue her kidnapped father. Goggins plays the dad in distress. No word when the film is due in theaters.
Chihiro. We're almost there.
The Hayao Miyazaki classic Spirited Away is back in theaters through Wednesday as part of Studio Ghibli Fest 2025. Locations and showtimes at fathomentertainment.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And check this out, horror sequel Black Phone 2 screamed to the top of the weekend box office in North America, pulling in more than $26 million. Tron Ares slipped to second with more than $11 million. And the comedy Good Fortune debuted third with more than $6 million. Well, there's a designer shaking up the world of fashion, taking clothing from thrift stores around the country and then turning them into high-end runway-ready designs. It is the ultimate example of upscaling as more people grow conscious of textile waste and the rising cost of clothing. CBS's Jared Hill has more.
In the high-priced world of high fashion, Evan Hirsch is designing haute couture from the bargain bin.
It used to be a Halloween costume.
This ball gown is one of nearly 24 upcycled garments the designer made for Goodwill's first ever New York Fashion Week runway show.
This originally was like a short lace dress, and I completely added this new skirt.
It's a partnership that started with a TikTok.
I found a dress at the thrift store, added over 2,000 beads by hand, and returned it straight back to the rack. I had never worked with garments that were pre-loved.
Now, reimagining thrifted clothing has become a bit of a calling.
A dress could be upcycled into something that would be good for like a prom.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like so many people want a custom one-of-a-kind dress for their special day. And I think this is a great way to do it at a better price point and also in a really eco-friendly way.
With the rise in cheap fast fashion, textile waste has ballooned to 92 million tons a year. But James Reinhart, CEO and founder of online consignment retailer ThredUp, says he's starting to see a shift.
I think people are reacting to the sort of proliferation of products and product pollution in apparel and looking for a different way to consume.
Lawmakers are also looking to tackle textile waste. In 2024, California passed the nation's first law requiring clothing producers fund and participate in the collection, repair, and recycling of their products. Hirsch is hoping his story can inspire.
What would you recommend for someone who's in a store looking at garments and maybe can't yet see the second life?
I would just think about what you want to wear. Like, I would start backwards and think about something that you would dream to own.
Threading a way to a more sustainable future. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Man, those are incredible. Well, thousands took to the streets of Santiago Sunday for Zombie Walk 2025, the city's iconic parade of the living dead. From Plaza Italia to Almagro Park, I think I went right past that. Yep. Zombies, vampires, and fantastical creatures filled the Alameda in a lively mix of art, music, And look at those displays.
Oh my goodness.
A little scary. It looks like a horror movie to me. I'm not sure
It really does.
I could handle that.
Yeah, some of those just look so realistic. It's just like, whoa.
Whoa, right?
You know?
Yeah. Well, this year's event honored Dr. Mortis, brought back to life with an AI by Dramatica Films, live bands and costume contest added to the fun, as attendees say that the celebration is for everyone, kids especially, animals. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, that dog.
No.
Oh my gosh, I don't really like that very much.
I don't either. I like the happy side of Halloween. I'm not much for like horror films, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I like a little bit more fun.
I'm princesses, pumpkins, superheroes. I guess we're all different, but
that is okay. Hey, you do you.
I have played I just told you I used to go as a witch all the time. Not a scary witch though.
Witch and a clown, you said?
Witch and a clown.
Nice.
And some people are scared of clowns, so.
That's,
all right. In Albuquerque, a powerful message took shape literally. Multiple schools and organizations teamed up with local artists to unveil a house made entirely from dismantled gun parts. The materials come from Guns to Gardens Buyback Program, a voluntary initiative that's aimed at reducing gun violence. Beyond the symbolism, the project also gave students hands-on experience, helping them build valuable trade skills. Organizers say they hope to take this installation on a tour across New Mexico to spark conversations statewide. I am sure that if you just saw it in a downtown square, that would be a conversation starter for sure.
Oh, definitely. It's a work of art for sure. I want to go inside, just be like, hey, I'm in a house of guns.
A house of guns. Very, very different, right?
Right.
All right, on a totally separate topic, get your appetite ready, because today we're celebrating a combo of sweet and savory flavors, because it's National Chicken and Waffles Day, which is one of Joel's favorite days
That's
ever.
right.
The pairing has been around for more than 150 years. What's not to love, right, about this tasty combination? Chicken and waffles is hearty, it's satisfying, it's sweet, and you can have it for breakfast or dinner. No matter how you celebrate National Chicken and Waffles Day, be sure that you don't do it alone. Yeah, invite a friend. Now, here's my question for you.
What you
On
got?
your chicken and waffles, do you like syrup over the whole thing or just the waffles?
Just the waffles. I don't think I could do syrup on the chicken.
You don't think so?
Not really.
But when you take a bite, do you take a bite of both together or separate?
Most of the time, it's separate. Most of the time, it's separate.
I wonder what everybody else does. Is it together? I would think that you would, because it's a combo, you should do it together.
I feel like you should. Honestly,
One time I want you to do this.
Yeah, I definitely need to do that. I'm kind of weird the way I eat. I will do everything pretty separately most of the time. But one of these days, I gotta try it.
I feel
together.
like you're one way or the other. You're either eating all of it together. I mean, I don't combine a lot of things. Maybe some things I do, but I definitely don't eat all my veggies, then move on to my protein or whatever.
Right. It also depends on how big your bite is too. Like honestly, like some of the bites like between the chicken and waffles, they can be so big.
They can be large and in charge.
Right.
For sure.
Large and in charge. I love that.
All right. Long before social media and smartphones, people stayed connected the old-fashioned way by writing letters. In 1975, a young girl from Pennsylvania, Carolyn Evans, became pen pals with a fellow student across the country, Connie McNeil, in California. Over the next 50 years, the two kept their friendship alive through changing times and technology without ever meeting in person. The two women had never met each other until recently. Man, that's a long friendship. Yeah, pen pals are different nowadays. It's probably all on social media. I always wanted a pen pal and I never had one.
Yeah, I think I had an opportunity for one, but I just never really had time.
How do you do that? How do you even find a pen pal across the country?
Yeah, I think at least for me, it was an option in 8th grade.
Like a school project.
It was like
kind
a
of
school
thing.
Project, exactly.
Where the teachers, I feel like we did that once in maybe a class, but it didn't keep going. You move cities or whatever, and then it's hard to stay in touch.
Right, exactly.
I do miss letters though. I loved writing letters. Like when I was in college and getting letters, it was so nice.
There's something nice about the manual way of doing things, back in the day. Everything is so instantaneous, but back then you had to wait.
You had to wait. I definitely had to wait in college. You didn't, but I had to wait.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can be thankful for that. But.
Yeah. Well, speaking of thankful, Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and many of you plan to hit the road or the skies, and we have some tips to help you travel smoothly this holiday season. All right, let's get a check of your weather right now. How are things looking, Joel?
Yeah, things are looking pretty good as we take a look outside on our CBS19 studio cam. It is a beautiful morning outside. We got high pressure right overhead. We got blue skies overhead as well. Temperatures right now on the cooler side, around 56 degrees. Our dew point right now, which is our measure of moisture, is down to 46 degrees. So that means it is very dry out there, and as a result, we got very little cloud cover. Actually, no cloud cover here across the area. A little bit of a wired look at temperatures here across the area. We got some 40s popping up on the board. We also have a mixture of 50s as well. So a very cool start to our Monday. And we're also watching for the winds to start to increase. They're starting to come out of the south this morning at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. There could be some gusts today upwards to around 20 to 30 miles per hour, which is something that we're really going to have to watch for and keep in mind, especially given the dry conditions. That is not good ingredients for fires across the area. That's why we do have some fire danger that we're going to have to watch for over the next few days. But other than that, I mean, temperatures, they will start to heat up into this afternoon. We'll be up to 88 for this afternoon, but just before that, it's going to be very nice weather to get out on the patio. Just again, keep in mind, it's going to be warming up into this afternoon. And on top of that, gusty winds 20 to 30 miles per hour. So again, 88 degrees for the high today, sunny skies. We have a round of showers possible into Tuesday as a cold front makes its way in. And then we are going to be much drier on Wednesday with temperatures in the low 80s. We'll break down the rain chances tomorrow, and there will be some more rain chances in the later parts of this week. So we'll break that down in your full forecast coming up.
And as we mentioned just a few minutes ago, we are going to break down your travel plans for this Thanksgiving holiday. Will we be thankful for how much traffic there's going to be on the roads and in the skies? We're going to help you out and get you through it smoothly just ahead. Well, Thanksgiving is just around the corner. We've been talking about it, and we have a reminder this morning as it fast approaches. Most Americans say they plan to travel for the holidays, and despite new signs of economic trouble, Thanksgiving and Christmas look like potential record breakers again. Chris Van Cleve is in the Phoenix skies at Harbor Airport with some advice.
Thanksgiving 2024 was the busiest Thanksgiving ever at the nation's airports, records that may be shattered again this year. Booking data looking at 2024 versus 2025 shows holiday trips booked between June 30th and October 8th are up 2.2% for Thanksgiving and nearly 1% for Christmas week.
We're a really good real-time indicator of the economy. I think the economy today is actually stronger than a lot of the backwards-looking statistics would indicate because we're seeing it in the bookings data.
United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby.
I think the entire fourth quarter, the fall break, Thanksgiving, Christmas, they're all likely to set records with strong demands.
Can this every season being a record season
can that pace continue? At some point, don't you hit a ceiling?
As long as the economy keeps growing, I think that pace can continue.
Airlines are adding about 250,000 more seats this Thanksgiving. NerdWallet's annual holiday travel report expects Americans to spend $311 billion on flights and hotels this year, about $2,600 a person, up nearly $260 from last year. Sally French tracks travel for NerdWallet.
This is really the week that you want to be booking your Thanksgiving travel, and we are not far out from the week that you want to make sure you've got your Christmas locked in. Your Christmas travel should be booked that first week of November.
Most Americans will drive for Thanksgiving, and their wallets may get a break at the pumps. Gas prices nationally are falling, approaching $3 a gallon on average. Parts of Oklahoma and Ohio may even see prices dip below $2 a gallon.
NerdWallet says in general you want to try to book Christmas travel at least 51 days in advance. That is November 4th for Christmas week. After that, expect prices to start rising. The airlines think Florida and Arizona will be popular. Internationally, they've added the most capacity to the Dominican Republic, Ireland, and the Philippines. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Phoenix.
All right, good morning, everybody. Let's get into your forecast this morning. Today, we got a case of the severe clear here across the area. We got lots of sunshine in store for this afternoon, and temperatures a little bit warmer than yesterday in the upper 80s. We're also going to be watching for gusty winds up to 20 to 30 miles per hour into this afternoon, which is going to fuel fire danger here across the area. We have very high risk for fire danger here in East Texas across some parts of the area in Tyler, Canton, Emory, Mount Pleasant, Gilmer, and even in the parts of Longview as well. Everywhere that's in that orange area is in that very high risk for fire danger. Meanwhile, you still have those tan colors out there. That's a high risk for fire danger. Those winds really kicking up out of the south this afternoon. 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts is going to be very possible. And on top of that, we are very dry. The humidity is very low. So any sort of fire that starts is going to have a very easy time spreading. So continue to expect these burn bans to continue until further notice. We have all these burn bans that have been issued over the past week that continue to be in effect until further notice. And we are not expecting too much out of the way of rainfall, at least over the next 24 hours. We are expecting a little bit of a band of rain to be coming in ahead of a cold front by Tuesday morning and into parts of Tuesday afternoon, but that should be out of here by the middle to late afternoon. It's not really going to amount to very much, maybe up to about a trace to maybe up to 1/10 of an inch. It's not going to be all that impactful. However, we are watching for a second chance for rainfall, a little bit more widespread, I should say, on Saturday as this trough of low pressure tries to make its way in. We will have a chance for maybe some stronger, maybe gustier thunderstorms into Saturday, so we'll keep you updated on that. But your 7-day forecast has occasional rain chances on Tuesday and Thursday and Friday, but in between we got today up to 88 degrees, very dry, very comfortable by Wednesday. We're up to 81 degrees by then. Isolated thunderstorms possible for Thursday and Friday, and as that system moves in just a little bit closer on Saturday, we'll have a chance for a little bit more widespread of a rain risk. We'll be right back.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this news update. Well, we are waiting to learn more about a violent incident at Joe's Sports Bar and Grill in Rusk. Here's what we know so far. Rusk police say they have made 2 arrests they believe to be connected to the scene. In a post on social media, the owner said her husband and a bar manager were both hurt during the altercation and are now recovering. She shared that one of the men involved had been banned from the establishment months ago, but returned Saturday night with his brother, quote, looking to cause harm. Adam and Chris Peace are currently being held in the Cherokee County Jail. A teenager was shot and sent to the hospital after a shooting erupted in Lufkin outside a dance club on 700 in the 700 block of South Timberland Drive. Now, Lufkin detectives say video footage from a nearby business shows a man pulling into the parking lot of the club in a truck, getting out, and then struggling with the victim before the shots were fired. The suspect then got back into the truck and drove off. The teen who was shot is stable, and the 2 men involved in the shooting are not in custody as of now. Well, a longtime pizza favorite in Tyler is getting ready to say goodbye. Ken's Pizza announced it will close November 2nd. The closure comes after the location was purchased by popular Longview restaurant Pizza King. Fans of Ken's still have a few days to grab a slice while you can. Well, before the rain moved in Saturday, the Rose Parade rolled through as part of the 92nd Annual Rose Festival. And the event attracted thousands and featured music, dancing, and an appearance by the Rose Queen, the Texas Rose Festival Court as well, and plenty of roses. Well, the road has officially begun. The new show from Blake Shelton and Taylor Sheridan premiered last night here on CBS19. It's a competition series that includes 12 country musicians who are opening acts for superstar Keith Urban. The first contestant has already been eliminated. 11 others advanced to the next round, including Billy Joe Jones from Emory. Now, to celebrate the occasion, Jones performed a quick set at Lindale's Texas Music City Grill and Smokehouse. Jones just released her second album titled Turquoise and Silver. She's on fire. Jones didn't want to give away any spoilers last night, but what she did say is the road is unlike any other singing show you've ever watched. So you're going to have to see it, along with Joel's forecast.
That's right. We got a little bit of a warmer day ahead as we move into this afternoon. We got temperatures in the upper 80s, possibly near 90 in some locations. Sunshine overload is what I'm calling today for sure. We're also going to be watching for 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts. And on top of that, we got very dry conditions, which is not good when it comes to fire danger. We have very high and high fire danger risks here across the area. So those burn bans continue to be in effect until further notice. And even if you are not within those burn bans, highly discourage you from burning anything altogether, as the winds will be very high and the humidity also very low. There will be a chance for some showers on Tuesday and then another one on Thursday and Friday, and a bigger chance coming into the forecast for Saturday.
All right, from sizzling bacon to fluffy pancakes, scrambled eggs, or maybe just a hot cup of coffee. Mine's like mildly hot right now. When it comes to breakfast, everyone has a favorite way to start the day, and now we want to know, what is your favorite breakfast food? We've already revealed ours. Chicken and waffles for you, or just waffles?
Or waffles and sausage. That was the go-to growing up, actually.
Okay.
So
for me, I just love me some good bacon with some syrup. I like the sweet and the savory together. As a kid, I liked a Pop-Tart sometimes.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sometimes probably not the healthiest thing, but sometimes a banana and like peanut butter. I liked that too.
Oh, those are really good.
I like something quick because I wanted as much sleep as possible in high school.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
People are talking over on Facebook. Brad says bacon. With you, Brad, absolutely. Felicia says protein pancakes with cream cheese mixed in, blueberries cooked and oozing from inside with sugar-free syrup. I
Wow,
mean,
that's
I'm
very
here for it,
descriptive.
right,
Yeah.
Felicia? Nancy says croissants. There was this place when I grew up that they had this chocolate croissant. It was so good. I would get it on the weekend sometime.
That sounds pretty good. I'd try that.
And James is going eggs over medium, bacon, pancakes, and grits with OJ.
Man,
Complete
it's
meal
breakfast
right
time,
there.
everybody.
It is. So whatever you have today, enjoy it. Now we're going to get to the news before you go. Early voting for the November election starts today. Statewide, Texans will vote on 17 proposed amendments to the state constitution. Now, some of those included are Proposition 3, denying bail for those charged with certain criminal felonies. Prop 4 would set aside up to $20 billion over the next 2 decades to fund water infrastructure projects. And Props 11 and 13 would both raise homestead exemptions on property taxes. And Prop 16 says non-U.S. citizens cannot vote in the state, including in local elections. And a longtime pizza favorite is getting ready to say goodbye. Yeah, Ken's Pizza did announce that it will close November 2nd. The closure comes after the location was purchased by popular Longview restaurant Pizza King. Fans of Ken's, though, keep in mind you have a few days, so if you can, go grab a slice. And the streets were in full bloom as the Rose Parade rolled through town for the 92nd annual Texas Rose Festival. Thousands lined the route to enjoy a celebration filled with music, dancing, colorful floats, and the Rose Queen and her court also made a special appearance, and there were plenty of roses to go around.
All right, how about some weather before you go out this morning? We got 88 for this afternoon, so a little bit more toasty than yesterday. Still a lot of sunshine. Again, those winds are going to be kind of gusty, up to 20 to 30 miles per hour, so you have to keep that in mind as well. We got another cold front coming in tomorrow, so that'll bring in a round of showers through tomorrow morning and even into early parts of tomorrow afternoon, but by the late afternoon should be out of here. And then we got sunshine on Wednesday, highs near 81, and then we got some moisture coming in on Thursday and Friday. That could produce a couple of thunderstorms, but we also have a bigger system coming in on Saturday that we have to really kind of watch for. Some of those thunderstorms that could develop on Saturday could be on the gusty side, so we will have to keep an eye on that. But for now, just enjoy the sunshine.
Oh, we definitely will enjoy the sunshine.
Certainly.
And we want to show you this before we head out. The streets were in full bloom as the Rose Parade. Oh, that's not the one I was wanting to do. I was wanting to do the one about the dogs, but maybe we're not doing it.
Oh, man. Bark.
All right. You do it for us. Do us.
Bark.
Do some bark.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Thanks for continuing your day with us here on Morning, y'all. On CBS 19 Plus, thought we had one more story. I was wrong. Catch the noon show coming up on CBS 19 Plus for the latest news, the weather, and throughout the day. We're always here for you on CBS 19 Plus with a bark or a smile, just, whatever.